everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to DSAS Office Ready Prac- Practical Tech Skills for the Modern Workplace Workshop. So, this is DSAS, and it means Digital Skills Advancement Series. Yes, we've heard AI automation. Then the second one, digital literacy and cybersecurity, and this is third one, office ready. We are delighted to have professionals, students, educators, entrepreneur, administrator, and participants joining us from different locations. Yes, we are so happy to see you. Please drop your location in the message. This thing, make use of the chat and drop your location. Let us know where you are joining us from. Welcome, Abdullah. Let us know where you are joining us from. I hope we all can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, I need stickers. Yes. Oh, Adamawa, you are welcome. Yes, I can see Adamawa. You are welcome. People from the north. Yes. Please make use of the chat. Let me know where you are joining. Oh, Beggar from Lagos State. You're welcome. You're welcome. Wow, you are joining us live from Lagos State. Wow, good to see you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I still need more response. Okay, Lagos from Bega, Oyo State, welcome. You're welcome. Yes, yes. I still need more people. Let us know where you are joining us from. Let us know. Oh, Taraba. Wow, Taraba. Sister Stella, you're welcome. Thank you. Please let us know where you are joining us from. We love to know you. We love to meet you. Let us know where you are joining us from. I can see people from Adamawa. I can see people from Lagos. Wow. Wow, you're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. So good to see you. So, as we get ready to begin, please ensure that your device is charged and your internet connection is stable. You have a notebook or digital note-taking app ready, because this program is packed. When I mean packed, is so packed. Is a program that will know that will enlighten us the more. It will help us to learn. We learn some things. Please keep your microphone muted unless you are invited to speak. Let's mute all our mic and feel free to participate actively through the chat during the section. We'll begin shortly. Okay, I want to make sure if our facilitator is here. Yes, yes, yeah. Our facilitator is here. Our facilitator is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, on behalf of the Digital Skills Advancement Series, which is DSAS, I warmly welcome you to Office Ready, Practical Tech Skills for the Modern Workplace. And let us know that this is a 3 day workshop and is designed to equip us with practical digital workshop skills, the ones that are relevant across different professions and industry. Whether you are preparing for your first job, advancing your career, running a business, or simply looking to improve your productivity, this workshop has been carefully designed with you in mind. Please let us all mute our mic. Sister Stella, please mute your mic so that you can hear me very well. Please help us to mute your mic. Please help us to mute your mic, ma. Thank you for doing that. So we encourage you to stay engaged, please. We need your active engagement. Please let us all mute our mic so that the network will not, Okay, thank you. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. So we encourage us all to stay engaged. Ask question, feel free to ask question, participate in discussion, and complete the practical activities. And we believe this workshop with skills you can apply immediately. So without further delay, let's begin. Let's begin. Our first section is titled Introduction to Modern Office Administration. To facilitate this section, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Ayobami Boluwaji. Mr. Ayobami Boluwaji is a multimedia designer, educational technologist, and digital skills trainer. He's also the CEO of B-Stack Tech Media with ex ten sive experience in instructional design, workplace technology and professional digital productivity. So join me, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Mr. Ayobami Boluwaji. Mr. Ayobami Boluwaji, the floor is yours.
So, thank you very much for that kind introduction. And once again, good evening, everyone. Please, I want to be sure if I am audible enough so that I can audible. So, it's a pleasure to welcome you all to the Office Ready Tech Skill for Modern Workplace Workshop. So, and I can see joining from different backgrounds. So from students, educators, entrepreneurs, administrators, and professional everywhere. So wherever you are joining us from, you are in the right place. You are in the right place. So welcome once again. All right. I would just like to share my screen so that we can, without any further ado, we can get started. Please use the reaction to signify, to just react with that emoji. If I'm audible enough, please. And I hope my screen is shared now. It's visible to you all. Please, we need your response. All right, thank you. So at some point, I will just need you to unmute your mic and speak so that it will not just be alone speaking. I would just like it to be engaging and also responding to some of my questions. All right. So it's my pleasure to welcome you once again to the Office Ready Practical Tech Skill for Modern Workplace. To ask this simple question that how many of us spent several minutes searching for a file you knew you had saved somewhere? See, you have ever submitted an assignment or report. Please, let's meet our submitted an assignment or report and later realize that there was a mistake. Let's see how many have ever wished there's a faster way to complete an office task instead of doing everything manually. You should say, who has ever kept the document from the beginning because they could not find the previous copy, so you have to start all over again. So this purpose is not just to teach you software, so it's to help you become more productive, more professional, and more valuable. So we will focus on practical skills and that you can begin to use in your workplace, in your business, ministry, or academic works. So this workshop you should attend. I know everybody are from different backgrounds. So I would like everybody to understand one important thing, that this workshop was intentionally designed for people at different stage of their career. So office professional, this workshop will help you become more efficient, more organized, and more productive. So if you are a student or a graduate, you are still in school or employment. These are the skills employers expect you to have before your first day at work. It's a very essential skill. And if you are running a business, you know how to manage documents, create content, able to communicate professionally with clients and organize your business digitally. So, for the sector, uh, organization, NGOs like that, even church NGOs ministry now rely heavily on digital documentation, communication, and collaborations like that. So, regardless your background, the skill you will learn here are practical and applicable. All right. So that, yeah. So which you will document that reflect professionalism and or digital management. So you will or struggle to locate important documents, and for the use of Excel, you will understand how to organize and analyze information efficiently. So even in the course of this workshop, you will learn how to use Google Docs. Teams collaboration in today's workspace is very essential. So, and also for AI, you will learn how artificial intelligence can save you hours of work while you are still maintaining your quality. And perhaps the biggest benefit in this skill make you more and more effective in whatever. So this is not just about attending the lecture. So to receive your certificate, you to participate actively and you complete any practical exercise given to you, and also follow our social media platform. Alright, we all know that it's 3 days workshop, and this is the first day. So now let us dive in. So to look at communication and documentation, understanding the modern office, then how to create professional documents. So we are professional communicators here, and finally we discover how artificial intelligence is changing the workplace productivity. So let's just start with this. Administration meant something like filing cabinets, protocols, typewriting, meetings with, writing meetings manually. So today, it means, our office administration now, storage, and space, 65, which we used to do at sharing, artificial intelligence, virtual meetings, digital records, and automation. So the office hasn't disappeared. It's become digital. It's already digital because we are now in the era. So technology in the workplace. I will just like us to unmute our mic so that we can answer this and to know if you are really following me. So can anyone mention one technology that they used before joining this meeting today? Anyway, I would like us to unmute our mic and let us respond and make this engaging.
Better AI. Better AI.
What we need, what we need. Hello, Mr. Wisdom.
I use Meta AI. And Google.
Question. I said, can one technology they used before joining this meeting today? It's just a very simple question, please. What did you use before joining this meeting? You can drop it in the chat bar, please. So, as for that, key office function. Is it communication? Yeah, it's communication. Documentation, collaboration, decision making, customer service, project management. I'm trying to get more. Data storage, automation, and artificial intelligence. So technology is no longer replacing work. It's just is done. So these tools become valuable. So if you understand these two so much, you become valuable that you won't be ignored. Just imagine two graduates, even first class, applying for a job, and if this job while working, and they come promotion, meaning that the person who is more in terms of his skill set, first will be promoted. So confident and equip himself with real skill that will make them stand out even in their workplace or where they find themselves. So the next one, administrative responsibility. I say that sometimes we blame our organization for not training us, but into this it's become our personal responsibility, and then it should become our personal responsibility. So every professional should keep moving and also adapt to change, learn software, protect digital information, especially at the workplace, all these confidential information. So also your work ethics. So understand effectively, so and to embrace AI. Let's say digital skill is not it's another advantage. That using it for work makes you more valuable, smart work. So digital skill is no longer an optional, it's no longer an optional. So I will ask that.
Sorry for you. I think you're printing and some people cannot hear you very well because I think also the network is somehow breaking. I think it's from my own end before. Sorry for interrupting. Thank you, sir.
Due to the network. All right. Thank you for that observation. So administration is not seen of papers. So administration is managing information. So we are expected to learn, how to change, learn new skills, software, and learn how to manage time effectively. So your responsibility as someone who is, managing your business, or you are working for somebody to manage their business, you learn this: document creation, data management, communication, and schedule and record keeping. On to the next one, which is the essential digital office skill. So today's employers expect you to know how to write professional email, to create Word documents, build PowerPoint presentation to pitch, and also to be able to analyze simple data in Excel, manage digital files, to be able to use Google Workspace, and also learn how to use Google Meet, attend virtual meetings, collaborate online, and protect your password and data. How these are essential. And also to use AI tool responsibly for productivity, not just hard work again, but a smart work. So through how this we are going to focus on practical skill you can start using immediately. So, and another question is that which one digital skill you struggle with the most? So, through the data we got is that people just want to be more productive. Whereas, okay, say that don't just embrace AI alone. There are some other skill that you can learn also to complete the AI skill. So don't ignore anything, because if you are AI and you forget to learn, content creation, where we are good at a skill, you need to use AI to support what you already know and makes you more efficient and productive, and it saves you more of the time. So it's changing, and digital skill keeps you relevant all the time. So based on the statistics that the World Economic Future of Job Reports 2025 found that 60% of employers still, okay, thank you, says that employers expanding digital access will be the biggest factor transforming their business by 2030. So the same report says that 39% of the workers' core skills are expected to change by 2030. So making continuous learning essential. And also, meeting clerical and administrative roles are among those changing the fastest because organizations increasingly expect professionals to use digital tools and AI to improve productivity. So the office is no longer defined by desk and paper file. So it is defined by technology, collaboration, and adaptability and continuous learning. So with this, we have established that today's workshop, today's workplace, based on technology, and that every professional has a responsibility to build relevant digital skill. But so we tools that almost every office use every single day, such as Microsoft Word, etc. So whether you are writing reports or writing CV, your document represents your professionalism, whatever you present. So our next facilitator will show us how to create professional document and make the right impression. So thank you so much for this short brief session. So I will hand over to the next facilitator.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayobami, for such an insightful and engaging section. What actually stood out for me is that digital skills are no longer an advantage. They are now minimum requirements that every organization now, when you want to fill any form or apply for anything, they'll be like, you have to have these skills. So they are no longer advantage. They are minimum requirements. I believe we now have a clearer understanding of the evolving modern workshop and why digital skills have become essential. We will now move on into our second section, Microsoft Word for Professional Documents. This section will be facilitated by Mr. Alade Blessing, who will guide us through creating professional documents that meet workplace standards. So, Mr. Alade Blessing, over to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, Mrs. Olani or Mrs. Kim, if I'm correct by that name. Thank you. And that presentation was wonderful, and you cover all those sections very well, sir. And just because he has taken so much of what I'm asking on the slide, talking about it, and let me just move things to the practical section just like that. So I will do some couple of few things while I'm doing my setting up so that I can be able to share my screen properly. So I have to believe that everybody is hearing me properly. I just did some thumbs up reaction, anyone will like anybody. Okay, I'm doing some hands up. And during the first, the facilitator or I've already mentioned, he's saying that digital skill, they are minimum requirements. But to get a step that, and that is just what we need. But I will also put it in this so that we know that this journey now, when AI is involved, digital skill is just a basic requirement. It is like we must have what you must have. So what is that area where you want to work now, that thing you must have it currently now. Because you really have digital software without the use of the business. So what AI can do just for you to just do some adjustments and do some changes. And that person find it very difficult too. That is like one man down already based on that person. So we should know that this is something that
is very important for us to have. So I think my voice is still audible. I quickly do some changes. So I will just, let me share my entire window. All right. Okay. So I don't want to open much slide, although I still have my slide on. So, but just to make sure that things comes to life. So the reason why we are going to be using Microsoft Word, I want to go straight. The reason why we are going to be using Microsoft Word is just because there's Google Meet, but there is the Google Docs, sorry for that, there is Google Docs, which also work the same way. But let me just explain the concept of what we are talking about. So most of the industry, some are using Google Workspace, while some are using Office 365. It's just different company, but the functionality is the same thing. So my network is not that good here. I will have maybe use the reason why I want to use Microsoft Service because rain is falling currently. And if I want to run everything online, so my voice can be breaking and some other things can happen along the line. But for now, I'll use the Microsoft Word because this is installed on my desktop and it's offline. It's the same thing. So on Google Workspace, if a company is using Google Workspace, they will use everything that has to do with Google. So they will use Google Drive. Let me show us what that means. Let me show us that very quickly. So when some companies are using Google as their productivity and what they use to manage their ecosystem, so they will be using Google Drive, Gemini, Google Form, Google Sheet, Google Docs, Google Meet, Google Calendar, Google Map, Google Search, Google Slide. They'll be using everything that we are seeing on this screen at this section. This is what they will be using because it is the same person, the same company, and everything will synchronize very well. The same thing with those that are using their mobile phone. If they are using Apple, you find this person can be using Apple Watch, Apple laptop, Apple phone, Apple AirPod, Apple everything because it will synchronize very well. Not just because that is good, that can be based on their choice, but still at the same time, that is what works best for them. And the same thing with someone that they are using Office 365, which is they'll be using Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, Microsoft Form, and stuff like that. The same way why Google also have their packages and all their application and software, they also have the same thing. But let's just play around the two. And we talk about Office productivity. Give me some minutes. Okay. Now, the second part of this section is going to be covering the Office productivity, which I will cover. Let me bring up this so we follow along like that. So I don't want to fill us with a lot of, let me just zoom this in. So I don't have to go back. So my focus is giving us a knowledge. I think I have 45 minutes at this. Okay, let me say I started by 7:35. Okay, I have some minutes left. So I'll cover all this section that has to do with document, which is office letter, table formatting, header and footer, memo of report layout, heading, style, templates, and templates. But I will use this format. So professional formatting. In formatting a document, we need to use a consistent font throughout, maximum 2. But me personally, I prefer just 1. So far as an official document, me, I prefer 1. Only sometimes when people want to maybe do their headings to have some other functionality or to make sure that it stands out very well. But it's better just to stay with 1 font and you are good to go. And set proper margins. I will explain that inside for those of us that don't have anything to imagine. And I noticed that we have students, we have professionals, we have people that are working already and people that are yet maybe going to the job space. And this is what we should need. Basically, we need all of this. And insert page break, not empty line. We'll get what I mean by this number 4, which is very, very important. Some people are missing this. Is very, very important. And use table for aligning data and always proofread before sending. Very important. If you get content from AI, don't just send it that way, proofread. Even every AI that we are using is always telling us that this content that you are using can make mistake. AI can make movie getting used to us because the personal, most of it are just responding to what we are doing personal, and immediately you are using them consistently. You already know what you are doing and how to make sure that things is better. Proofreading is very important. No matter how the document is, if you mistakenly, let me use money as an example. You want to type 1 million, you really add 1 0, that's 10 million. And that's for those of us that are sending money, you want to send 1,000 to someone, and eventually just add 1 0 and send 10,000 to the person. You know how the story goes, and sometimes it doesn't work out well as we are expecting. Now, use consistent fonts. Let me zoom this up. And I need some reaction so that I will know that my network is still audible, so I'll be sure that the rain is not really affecting what I'm saying. Okay. So let me go back to my slide. I will use some Lorem Ipsum just to generate a random text. I don't want to make this to look like maybe you are watching a YouTube video or you download the course. I want to make sure that we ourselves are working along, because when we are watching content online, some of it looks so perfect that we just find, and if they are doing something sometimes, they don't even know what they are doing. So I will use random words, which I will use in Lorem Ipsum, and I believe that anybody that can get this based on what I've been using and some of the things that I've tried out with some students, if you can get it with this example, I believe that when you're using real and what you understand, if I'm using generated text and you get it, by the time you want to use real text, you should be able to get it. So let me just use this Lorem, that's easy equals to. I will not really much explain this very much because that is not my focus. But what I just did is, well, just give me a random test for me to be able to play with. Now I will use a letter as an example. I will just use this random test to generate some letters and to make sure that this thing looks really like a normal letter, maybe a formal letter or something like that. Now, the first thing I have is that we should use just a particular font. We should use just one font. And some of the most popular fonts is Times New Roman. This is what I'm already having inside this space. Can I zoom this up? Can I zoom this up? Okay. Let me try to do something. Okay. All right. So what we are having here is this space that we're having Times New Roman is where we can select different kind of fonts. And what I want to explain that, because I cannot go ahead and explain everything that we have here to us because it's very many. There's a lot of fonts, but based on what we want to do, we don't want to be maybe a guru in that place. What we want to do is just to know what is useful for us and to go on with it. One of the best fonts is the one you're having on the screen, which is Times New Roman. Times New Roman use it, or sometimes some people use Intel or Calibri as a, let me just use Calibri. Yes, Calibri Light is Calibri. You have a lot of, so you can use this Calibri or use Times New Roman or use Intel. Some people use LoRa as well. So for your document, you can go ahead with these three, or your professional document, you can use LoRa as well. You really use that for your document, and let me explain better. You can use that as well. Now let me zoom in. This text that we are saying is Times New Roman. Let me just select everything. Let me change it to LoRa, and let's notice what will change. You will see that some of the structure of the text is going to change by the time we see like this. Okay. And just let's go with it. And the second part we are having here, which is this side, is where we can change the font size. And one of the best size that you can just use, that I would personally recommend, just go with 12. If just go with from 12 to 16, it should be okay. 12, 14, 16. So if you have a large document, go with 12, but you have maybe 1 page something or 2 page, you can use 16 or 14 so that everything can just look smart, not too small on the screen. So if you have a large document, go with 12. But let me use 14 for this case. Let me use that for that. Okay. Now let me just make this to be a simple letter. Some of us, when we are doing stuff, let me go back to my slide, which is the first one. Use consistent fonts throughout, and also set proper margin, inch, and this apply heading style, and let's focus on that. So this one, some of us, when we want to change this, or we want to give space as a test, let me put this to be enter, this to be enter, and this to be enter. Let me enter this as well. No, I want to make sure that this is at the other side. You know, when you're doing it, when you're drafting a letter, let me make sure that this, all of these things stand out, so that we can understand what I'm saying per se. Let me use this one to be, let me change this to be the side. Okay. Okay. Okay, I want to shift this thing now to the other side. Some people will not be pressing backspace like this. Just be pressing space until this thing shifts to this side. No, that's not the proper way of doing it. That's why when some people send some text, by the time they want to edit it, when they send it to the cafe, everything will just get packed together and things will just jam up. So just make sure you select this. When you have a letter, you have the address, and click on tab on the keyboard. There is a button like the tab key above your cap lock. I don't have a way to share my stuff like this. Just make sure you press tab on the keyboard. For those of us that we are used to computer, just press tab on that keyboard and it's going to shift to that side. So with this, everything is going to look smart. Even if you send it to anybody, it's still going to remain like that because it's not just random space. Now, this space is going to be where you have the information of the organization, maybe sending to the principal, sending to the DSR, this and that. And also, when we want to send this, we have a topic, letter of application, letter of this, always align this to be at the center. And if you put it in capital letter, don't underline. I can put this sometimes. If you put the letter of application, letter of this and that, you don't need. If you put it in capital letter, don't underline. If you write it in small letter or in title case, you have to, I think you have to underline, if I'm correct by that. You have to underline it. But everything we are seeing here now, we'll notice something at this edge, that all this thing is not aligned properly. Some of it is like zigzag, coming in, coming out, and it's not supposed to be that way. There's something that I will touch upper here, which is this one we have justify. It's like alignment. We have align to the right. Let me select all of this. I want to be very big because I have a limited time and I still have one other section to cover. So selecting this is the body of my letter now, the way I'm having it. All this thing that is at the edge is not supposed to be like that. Let me just do the justification and we see. Immediately I add justification to this thing. Let me delete this part so that it's not going to be showing. Okay, if I justify this now, let me change it back and just align it to the left, because automatically it's always aligned to the left. And when you have a large text, everything will just be looking somehow at that edge like this, and this doesn't look professional. You must make sure that you put it at justify. You can use Ctrl+G, so you don't need to disturb yourself mastering everything you have on this canvas, because some of them are not used for everyday people. They are using this thing for book production. They are using it for newspaper. They are using it for this. They are using it for journal. What you want to do is just for office stuff. You don't need to master everything, but if you have the time, you can go ahead to do that. But some of these basic things that will make your work to stand out and look more professional is things that you should always know. And when you want to add paragraphs, some people also use space to add paragraph. That is a bad thing to do. Always make sure you use the tab key. Let me Ctrl Z. Always use tab to add that to your indent or that tab at the indent at the front of your. Always use tab. If you use that, your document will still be the same anywhere you have it. Let me leave that. No, let me delete this and have it at the second one here. Let me have the tab here. And that is that. And justify what I've just mentioned. That is why we are saying everything at the edge, like everything looks straight, no matter the length of the text. And we also have something at the other edge here. Maybe you have your faithfully. That's yours faithfully. Okay. You have your comma. I think this should be in small. Yes, it's not capital letter, it should be small, but I'm still. Then you make sure that because this one, you might not need to be tabbing the same way you did for this one at the top. So you just have to align this one to the right. Immediately you align to the right, it's going to stay like this because you want to write other things at the edge. Maybe you want to write your name. Okay, you write your name, you add your signature to it as well. You add your signature and the likes. Now, adding signature is to have my picture. Okay, bringing in signature. Our network will not permit me to do this. My network is not that strong, but I will just explain. Can I explain with a picture so that I can move on? Let me see. So you have it like this. So having your letter like this, make it look more. If you see, everything is like in line. And there's something that is very important, which takes me to layout. Let me zoom this part up. Okay. Now, everything we are having here, we have home, insert, design, mailing, reviewing, developer, forget about this one. One of the basic tabs you need is this home, layout. Let me say home and layout for the sake of this workshop, so I will not give you too much information. Home and layout. And in this layout, column not really necessary. Size should always be in A4 paper. When you are designing anything, make sure you always come here and make sure you select A4, because anywhere you want to print, their printers start from A4, A2, A3, A5, blah, blah, blah. Some also have letters sometimes, but your letter should be in A4 always. So some changes will be made to that. And your orientation should be, don't need of setting. I think automatically everything is always in the proper orientation. And margin is now another thing. So there are a lot of presets under this margin. So, but the best I will give us two is this one that we have as normal, which is one margin throughout that paper, top, bottom, left, right is always margin. And margin is what we have here. From this text to this edge of the paper. From this text to this edge of the paper. Let me come back here. And the other one is from all edge, both top, bottom, left, right, everywhere. And the other one is narrow, which is 0.5. If you have a large, you need more space, you can use this also. You will notice that I'm having small edge, small space at the edge now, compared to when I'm having this one to be one margin around. You will see the difference now that this is more wider. Now, if you have a lot of content and you want to make sure that everything is fixed to just a particular page, you can use that as well to make sure that stuff are properly aligned on the document. What other thing do I need to cover? I need to insert page and page break. Now, let me say my text also want to continue, or I want to write another letter. I want to draft this same letter. I want to make sure that everything is inside the same document. Let me copy this. And if I paste here now, let me bring it down, align it back to the right, and paste. You will notice that, let me delete some content here. Aha. Notice that my next letter, letter that I want to be inside this the same page is starting from this side. And I don't want that to be. I want to make sure that immediately, no matter the length of my letter, every letter is starting in another fresh page. I think we are going to get that, but for people that can play around and later, they will get what I'm saying properly. So you want to make sure that your letter is always starting at a fresh page, even if at all that thing has a limited size. You click enter on the keyboard, you click control on the keyboard and you press enter. Because some people go about and be pressing enter, 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 enter like this, which means that sometimes if you want to have another letter, let me take this up. Under this place, you know, this one is ending in another place now. If I paste this one now, everything will now be standing alone in a separate, you now be having one word here, one word here, one word here, one word here, which is not supposed to be. So, but if you do it this way, let me delete the spacing that I've already added to that. Let me delete that. When you get to this space, you press enter, control and enter on the keyboard. That will jump to another page. You will see what I'm explaining now. And you come to this place also. Let me delete this to go up. Okay, press enter on the keyboard. Let me delete something so that that can come up. And you come here. Let me do this back. And when you get to this place, you also press enter on the keyboard. So even though I'm adding other stuff, even if I thought I'm adding other stuff to this place, all this thing will not jump to another place. Let me just do this. You see that? Okay, I want to add one more line. Let me just add write some random stuff. Even if I press enter, you see that what I'm having under it is not shifting because it doesn't consign them. They are standing alone. Because you hold on control and press enter, every letter will be starting in a fresh page. And even if I thought I try to exceed, let me try to exceed this one. And if this one is now having one fresh page, you will notice that another letter is not standing on all the fresh page that I'm having here. The other letter will go and start on another fresh page because some word from the letter above is on this page. The code is just press control and press enter on the keyboard. This is going to jump to another screen. So I think I've covered some of the most important, which is insert breakpoint and use table to align data and also proofread before going. So that proofread is just like what I would just say to us, that make sure you proofread, make sure you proofread. This phase free now. Let me just delete L and come down here. Let me go on. Okay. Okay, and we should go. And one important thing that we also need in our table is always having a table inside our text, because this is very important. We can just come to insert. I've explained what we have here as some part of home, layout, and let me pick something from insert as well. We don't really need too much to design. Let me come down to table, and let me bring it down so that we can see. Immediately you click on that and you select a place on your key or your space. If I click the number of tables I want, you see 3 appear.